Getting the community's input, a local school district trying to connect with those in the community to learn how to improve their schools. Tonight was the first of 5 workshops called Cardinal Vision at Sioux City Middle School. There, organizers walked through some of the challenges facing the district. Those issues were focused on aging buildings, overcrowded schools, and safety and security updates. 4 of those schools are at capacity. The average age of those facilities, 49 years. That's 10 years higher than the state average. After walking through these issues, community members then worked in groups to share their thoughts and ideas about the issues. Organizers created the workshops to allow the community to have a voice in decisions made about the district moving forward.
They can expect to be in a room with other people who care deeply about the community. That's why we're all here. That's why the committee was formed. That's why the school district decided to do something like this, because there are a lot of people who care about the community, who care about the school district, and that's what you can expect, is to be in a room full of those like-minded individuals.
Each workshop will dive deeper into each of the concerns about the district. Once they receive all of the community input, the organizers will then bring their findings to the school board in February.
I just want the voice of the people to be heard. I know collectively we want to have a unified community to make the decisions for the betterment of the school district, the betterment of the schools, and subsequently, the quality of education here in Sioux City.
If you missed tonight's meeting, there are 4 more workshops scheduled over the next few months. The next one is October 8th. They'll also have building tours on November 3rd and November 10th.